Oh my god, I'm recording. What a silence-breaking bastard. You're a good boy, Chichi. Even he's like, I can't believe you're recording. I know. I shouldn't be. I mean, what should I do? I guess I should be. It is what I do. And I'm inspired. Sometimes I'm dragging, and tonight I'm inspired. So let me not rant, and just thank you for being here. God bless. I love you all, and welcome. Okay, welcome. So this is pretty weird. Pretty weird. Here I am looking at an island that I really wasn't that familiar with. Kind of south of China, south of Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Sumatra. Great coffee out of Sumatra. And then large island, one of the largest that I'm really unfamiliar with, that I became curious about while looking at an old map from 1650. We've been looking at this map in the last couple videos. Look at it real quick. Here we are. The Nova Exactica. Let's zoom out, show you this beauty, if you haven't seen my last couple videos. And lately, we're looking at a great version of it. Real sharp and crisp resolution. I don't know, such a great map. I've always been a map lover ever since I was a child. I remember when there was a North Pole. I remember I had a globe that you could kind of rub your hands on, feel the mountains, and it was pretty accurate. I mean, somebody had thought about it really well, and I loved rubbing my hands over the North Pole. There was a beautiful landmass and names and all kinds of things. I wish I still had that old globe, which is essentially a map on a ball. And I don't believe in the ball, but I think in theory you could lay a map on anything. And even here, have we even looked at the North Pole? I don't think so. Here we go. Not really giving us much North Pole. A little bit. We see this island of Nova Zemlya, kind of like starting to disappear a little bit. And of course we see Tartaria here, as we've discussed. And all these castle cities. We can go to the Straits of Hormuz. And interesting, it looks like back then it was called Ormus or Ormuz. Here we see Ormuz. Here we see Ormuz. So yeah, here's the old name. And look at this. What is this? In the Straits in 1650. And all these castle cities, I mean, it's all desert and wasteland now. This is a really special time, like depicting a time when everything was inhabited. And then there would be this gap in time where even today, many of these areas are not thriving. But I think what we'll see is ruin. So all of these spots will be showing us what are today ruins. In my last video, I discussed how all of these are different. They're not just the same stamp as I originally thought. They're all individually drawn and have features depicting perhaps the size. Pretty amazing. And even here in India, I almost made a video once where I was going through showing all these castle cities in India on the coast here, on the west coast. And today, just one, but hundreds of mind-blowing old world Indian future architecture. I mean, Indian architecture is kind of futuristic, even though it's from the past. Super advanced. And sure enough, all the cities lined up. Like so much is preserved here. But I'm trying to say, I guess. But anyway, back to my exploration today, trying to make sense of all of this down here and really kind of acquainting myself, I guess, with places that I was kind of ignorant about. Like I said, I knew some, and many of you do. But then Borneo, I knew nothing about. And even more so, look how it's full of castle cities. So much detail. I mean, naming little islands out here, like who cares? But they cared. Somebody cared. Somebody charted the piss out of the realm in 1650. Nothing less. Every little nook and cranny and inlet and island in the inlets and ports. So anyway, I was going to try to see if I could find anything here in Borneo. Anything. And sure enough, everything lined up. Up here you have the Philippines above Borneo. Philippines. And all these names are actually the same. Let me show you. So if we zoom out a little bit here and go above Borneo, we see see a Panama. They have a Panama, a Mindoro, and here Panay, I believe, is the Panama. Panay, and Mindoro is still Mindoro here. And all of this is the Philippines Islands, just as it says here, even back then. This is the Filipina Peninsula, or just the Phillip Peninsula. It's called Luconia. Here, the big island, and here the big one is called like Luzon. You have Manila here, which I think is the capital city. Really big, bustling city. So we'll explore that one day. But what do we have in this Borneo, and what is the history of Borneo? So let's take a little pause. Okay, little pause. Little pause. I gotta pace myself. So here we go. Let's look at what they say. I mean, here's what we see. Okay, Borneo, 1650, bustling, just like the whole damn realm, like everywhere, like even these little islands. What are these? I mean, it just gets so deep. Are some of these gone? Are these gonna be like Marshall Islands and little bits that seem to have been blasted to smithereens and just portions remain? I don't know. Just fascinating, but let's stick to Borneo today. What do they say? Borneo is the third largest island in the world. Oh, with an area of about 1 million kilometers and a population of 23 million. Pretty big population, actually. It is one of the Greater Sunda Islands, located north of Java. Again, great coffee, just a great coffee region. West of Sulawesi and east of Sumatra. Okay, and indigenous groups, cultures, international trading ports were established by the first millennium. Wow. The Sultanate of Sulu ruled the island's north, and it was later colonized, there we go, by the British and the Dutch, and it was at some point occupied by Japan around WW2. Since the decolonialization, the island has been politically divided. Divide and conquer, of course, like everyone, amongst 3 states. One state is Brunei in the north. See their logo, like incorporating the crescent moon. And in the east is Sabah. It looks really, really built out, like really crazy. Let's have a look at this. Unbelievable here. Big building back here is really what caught my eye. But look at this. This is that building, I think, as they're building it. Unbelievable. This is like almost like some kind of Turkmenistan stuff going on here. What is going on here? Yeah, here's a little taste of what's going on. World's 3rd largest island, Borneo. Still doesn't really make sense. Archaeologists suggest Borneo has been inhabited for more than 65,000 years. Really a bold suggestion. But anyway, the reason I came here is because of this old map showing that it was totally castled out, totally occupied, actually lining up with this narrative to some extent. Totally built out and castled like the rest of the realm 400 years ago. So here we're told in the 16th century, a Portuguese explorer, Jorge de Mendes, made contact with the indigenous people of Borneo. Chinese records referred to Borneo in 1225. The majority of the inhabitants today reside in coastal cities. Major economic sector includes oil and gas, where I live. Like the Hunger Games is the mining sector. They also have agriculture, timber, and tourism. Here's the highest mountain on the island, like a big tree stump. Here we have cave paintings. And here's an 1864 illustration. Locals. And this is where I just have to call BS. I mean, again, this map is indicating an island just as advanced as every other part. Like every part totally occupied. Every river charted, every coastline charted. Just that alone. And again, I'm comparing it. I mean, I have everything here. And so here is my first little peek down here. We have a grid and 23 million people. I mean, pretty substantial. And what am I looking for? I mean, me personally. How can I tell if this was once advanced, as this old map suggests? Well, in one breath, in the 1850s, we're told they were these savage people running around in loincloth like this. Loincloths and feathers. Nothing wrong with that, but not very advanced. And yet when I look at this map, this is advanced. Or I believe that the map maker was depicting that it was advanced. And then when we look here, 23 million people, but we have coastlines that have been shaped. And that's my clue. Now a lot of people would look at this and say, oh, this looks industrial and junky. And it is industrial and junky, but this, I believe, is the footprint of an old city, now turned into a junk fest, scraped and junked out. And how do I know it's advanced? Is because of this coastline. This is the elephant in the room that I've been shouting from the hilltop since I started this channel. This is what nobody wants to acknowledge. I mean, we do in this community, but it's the shaping of the coastline. And this is like really nice. Like this is laid out so beautifully. The roads, the surveying, a lot of planning. Let me drop the man down here and let's see what we're dealing with. I have no idea. Here we go. So really nice. Like a beach town. Kind of a beach, tropical feeling place. Here we can see some circuit board looking layout. A nice port right here. Coming into this river. Here we could probably find a star fort if we look carefully. And really, I don't know, without examining these cities carefully, of course I can't really know. But what do I think? I think basically when we see a castle like this, the castle is not just one castle. The castle, just like a dot on today's map, a dot, if you've ever purchased a map, and I think still on the digital map, if you're to zoom out, you'll get a dot. So instead of a dot, we get this. This depicts a city, an advanced city, castle city, beautiful city. And that is what I think we're seeing here. So I'm not looking for a castle, although there may be cathedrals, there could be everything. I can already see the footprint of beautiful gardens like we would see at a World's Fair, and perhaps around here we could find such buildings. And also perhaps much has been demolished, as we see everywhere. There are some big buildings here. They could have new roofs. But again, the artificial coastline, the engineering, the perfection of the streets and highways and gardens. And we're told in the 1850s they were loincloth wearers. And this looks really advanced. This looks like more than not long ago being loincloth wearers. A religious school. See if we can see anything. There we go. Religious school. And here we have a town name of Brunei. Let's see if that lines up with anything here. Not really seeing a Brunei. And of course, many of them could have all new names. Usually best to try to line up some of the geographical features. Look at this. I mean, this would have been a great coastal city, and it has just been destroyed and junked out. And we do the same thing. Even beautiful locations in North America, beautiful on the water, on the coast, sometimes in California, are just scraped and industrialized just like this. There's like nothing. There's no reason for all this mess. This is more like the removing. And again, all the artificial coastlines. Here you can see them really well. This is a better example. And here it is being utilized as a port. It is an excellent port. But again, this is a feat. I mean, these artificial breaks like this, we discussed one. We discussed the repairing of one in Seattle once. Just like a mile cost like hundreds of millions of dollars just for like a mile. And it was a big deal. They like took years. It was such a production. And here these exist all over, not just here, but the entire coast. And again, the roads, the beautiful roundabouts, now just wasteland, but yet everything has been laid out and has now also been wiped out. Just barely getting the roads back up. But we see this amazing footprint everywhere. Here, you know, It looks like trees have been planted. This is like a cover-up operation here. Roads all around it with roundabouts. Unbelievable here. What is going on? A cover-up. Look at this. The planting of perhaps a food product. And I wanted to show you this. Here we go. Here we're getting into totally wiped out cities. My favorite. And they have planted. Looks like, again, they're taking advantage, of course, of the perfectly laid out grid system that will have been a city, just to show you what an unorganized town looks like. No surveying, or very little. Just a windy little road and upping houses all around. But then we see this super advanced surveying. I mean, whatever it is, if they're, even if it's just bananas now, a very advanced, complex grid, all of it. Look at this. Forever of grid. I mean, just to survey this. Again, I don't care if it was to plant bananas. I mean, this is a mind-blowing feat, and in my opinion, it's not. This is like leftover from the old castle cities that we're seeing on the maps, and there should be a lot that we can discover here. I mean, it's the same. If you've been following my channel for some time, you know that these are everywhere, in the middle of nowhere, and here, in this case, on this island, Borneo. So let us pause. Today I made a video, and I don't really like it, so I'm going to scrap that video and make another one. So I made a video, and I'm going to throw it away. I don't know, maybe I'll put it at the end of this one. Maybe it was decent, but I'm just not feeling it now. Here's how it went down. It started by looking at this map. We're just not going to look at this map today. I'm just not in the mood. And anyway, my last video, I was talking about this island of Borneo. So this is like 1650, and there is no part of the realm that is not inhabited in 1650. And I was trying to find some of these castles. I mean, it's not like there's just going to be one castle. A castle is a city, and Borneo was pretty happening in 1650. And I was having a look in the classic kind of way. And yes, we see castles and all kinds of strange architecture in Borneo, like way more beautiful than anybody knew, even me. It's actually really, really awesome. I can't sell anything. That's why I don't. I grew up being sold. I mean, we still live in a world where we're sold things, sold ideas, products, and it's disgusting. I'm not going to sell you anything. If I felt like I had to sell something to you, package some ideas with some music, it would make me sick right now. It would. And so I'm not going to do that. Music and ideas, stock video footage, AI, not in the mood. The hell with all that. But I do love the old world. I also love nature, and they're kind of similar in a way. Like, this is as glorious as some grand tree or mountain. This is Hong Kong, a building that no longer exists. Here I was gung-ho, looking at old Malaysia, these islands, way down yonder. Way down yonder. I realized it just doesn't matter. It's simply everywhere. Here's a picture in Borneo. I don't know. Let's have a click. Merdeka Square. Merdeka. They tell us this is in Borneo. Look at this. Look at this old world in ruins. And let's confirm it. Merdeka? Is that what it was? Take us to Merdeka Square. No shit, here we go. That was it. So like in the 40s, it was just dog I mean, you saw the picture. I'm not being rude or anything. And look how advanced this square is. I mean, what's been destroyed? We don't know. Let's have a look here. Let's just check out this square. Here we go. This is that beautiful terminal building we were looking at earlier. Sweet. And then another one. Awesome. And another. Look at this place. Old Malaysia. Look at this. Everything here. Just super mind-blowing. A lot remaining. And then a lot of modern buildings all around it. And even some kind of Swiss-looking buildings. So here we go. Merdeka Square. Legit. Old Singapore. So it's all brick and old world, and then it's just been inherited like everything else. It says down here at the bottom, Market Street. Sometimes I'm annoyed with technology. Like tonight, they want me to sign in. Just leave us alone. Let us not sign in. Here we go. Singapore Post Office. This is a great picture. Just everybody in this time period has the same expressions on their faces. Most certainly all military people in every nation. So here's the post office on the island of Singapore. Singapore. Is it an island? I think it's more of like a peninsula. A really long peninsula. But pretty much an island too. Certainly like parts of it are islands. And yeah, I mean, totally normal, right? Singapore and Borneo. Forget about Borneo. It's all the same. I just punched in historic buildings. No place in particular. And now we're talking. Show us everything. Let's take a pause. Okay, everything. Why settle for anything less? I mean, the earliest architecture in the realm is the best, the most permanent, the most beautiful, most creative, and the most impossible, especially in an early time period. Now, I'm certainly very jaded by now. I don't care about anything. How could I? With this elephant in the room? Now, I'm glad there's people out there fighting for justice and truth in politics, communities, governments. There's some good people out there. But for me personally, what is worth wasting my time on? And perhaps this is my fight, although it's not really a fight. I'm just asking questions about history, and nobody answers us. Nobody cares. And they're too busy, really. Too damn busy pushing all kinds of new BS, chipping away at the world. They can barely keep things going. And then there's this from the past laughing at us, absolutely mocking and laughing at us silently. Most people can't afford to live. There's a housing crisis everywhere. And then there's buildings like this from 150 years ago, mocking us, seeming invisible. And most people that come into this research have like an awakening. Like they've never seen the old architecture. And it is hidden in plain sight. It's also in danger. And even these ideas are in danger. These photos are in danger. And they weren't hiding them. And they're still not. But nonetheless, they are in danger. Somebody really wants us, needs us to believe this bullshit. That these people, these outhouse using people living in this time period, built these buildings, moved and shaped all of these blocks with these little dinky carriages and trailers, horses, and wooden wheels. Just this block destroys a wooden wheel. And this city is not built with the means that we see down there on the street level. And this idea is in danger. This was not our world. It's all too much. Look how absolutely modern this building is in the background here. 150 years ago. Here we see a blend of horse and pretty exotic vehicles. This cathedral is completely covered in ivy. Like even the window has grown over with ivy. And I guess we're not a people of truth. I mean, maybe we're starting to be. Certainly in our community we are. We want to know the truth. Again, I think people do. I think people are snapping out of it and do want to know the truth. And those in control realize they have a problem. People demand the truth. They want to know about data collected by agencies and islands and files. For example, people want to know the truth about the moon, and have since we were first told that we went. And then when we were told that we couldn't go back, that we had lost the data all the telemetry. And we were also told there's no way we could go through the belt again, even though we were told we went. We went through the belt, we were told. We walked around and we came back through the belt. But no. And it's the same with these buildings. We were told we built. We built with a horse, but we cannot build again. Why can't we build again? If we built, why can we not build again? Why can't we clean or power wash the building? Why does it look so old? And I don't even think they could build the first level. The first level, I propose, is unbuildable for these people. Why? Well, first of all, because you have a basement here, clearly. The first level is underground. So you have to excavate with heavy equipment that doesn't exist yet. That's all. Maybe you can move blocks around. Maybe. One block at a time with these horse and carts. Maybe. But you can't excavate. These are big floors too. These are big floors. Like double. Like Big Macs. If you've ever been in an old anything, you know. Each floor was like 15 feet tall. To suit a giant. Not to suit these little people down here. Look at the little people. And look at the size of each floor. The absolute overkill. Just geeking out on this picture. What is wrong with you, Jon? I don't know. Let's pause. Oh my god, this was 1906 Minneapolis. Ah, how great. Just great. That's what's so amazing. Is it has nothing to do with any one people at any particular time. Looks like the UK is getting digital ID after all. Here is the Royal Liver Building. Ah, the Royal Liver. And here we are in Shanghai. Good old Shanghai. Shanghai. But yeah, anyway. This is the Bund district. I mean, you can see how similar. And of course, they'll tell us this is the result of colonialism. And here's the Bund district, just chaos in old times. And yeah, really reminding me of this Liverpool waterfront. And when we look at a picture of old New York City, of course it's also identical. The difference is when the value of real estate goes up, they're very quick to demolish these buildings. These impossible to build in that time period buildings. And they demolish them and build these glassy cube and steel buildings. And they're doing it right now. Ever since the COVID BS, they succeeded in driving up the cost of real estate in a lot of cities that had retained a lot of this history and began demolishing. Just like they did here in New York City, all these buildings were demolished. But again, they're absolutely massive and unnecessary. So beautiful, but so unnecessary. And that's what's so crazy about it all. Unnecessary to have such beauty, and also impossible. It's just an extra slap in the face. Look at this scene. Look at this building. Are you appreciating this? This is nuts. I want to find this original. Let's take a pause. So here we are with this building. Unbelievable. This building was demolished. And let's find out about this building. Let us know everything about this building. The building shown is the Betts Building. It looks like a date of 1890 to 1892. Chew on that. 2 years to build this monster. And looks like it was demolished in 1926. 30 years? Only 30 years. The structure was demolished in 1926 to make way for the Philadelphia Bank. So this is good. This is depressing, and I can see why I'm depressed. I wouldn't have it any other way. This is our history. This is our BS history. So we're told they built this in 2 years and demolished it in 30. Who wouldn't be depressed alongside of me? Who? Well, unfortunately, most people not appreciating what's going on here. And again, the lies. The absolute lies. Let's go look at these people down here. Here we can see Mr. Penn, Philadelphia Penn Man, who I believe must have been somebody in the old world, and the story we're told is just a fabrication. Look at all the signage in the windows. Look at the way they built this. Like, nobody builds this beautifully. Just genius, really. Like, before the computer program, like, this would have been hand drawn and engineered. Look at this. The Equitable Trust Company. And over here it says the something life insurance. So basically just a insurance building inheritance. Look at these little mini buildings going down into the basement. Are these an afterthought? Very interesting. And again, the roads are not even paved. This is not the beginning. It's the beginning for these people. This is not the type of building that you build at the beginning, at your very earliest point in history. The Betts Building, here we have it written on both sides, really flaunting. Just a masterpiece. And look how it's kind of like unfinished here. Look at this. Like, definitely an entryway here, but this entryway is kind of dysfunctional. I mean, what's going on with that entryway? It's unusable. It's not an entryway here. And then we have this little basement part exposed, and here as well a little basement part exposed. Just a total trip. And here they've put those little mini structures over the basement exposed parts, but no mini structure over here. So this is a total trip. It's like these weren't even supposed to be entrances, and we turned them into entrances. And no doubt, I mean, this building is not supposed to be an insurance building. Just nuts. Here we have Eureka Cole taking up residence in here, having an office. Eureka Cole for this floor, the whole floor. The floor above it, something lumber. Fire insurance up here, the whole floor. And this detail, this absolutely unnecessary detail. Cheap drapings in the windows. These Old West drapings. This is their handiwork. The inheritors down there. Insurance building. Built in 2 years and demolished in 30 to make way for a bank. Surely you could have had a bank here. You could have easily put a bank down here. Why'd you need to demolish the whole building? And here again, look at the entryway that is not an entryway. Are you seeing this? Pretty unbelievable. So they've yet to make stairs and just nobody around in this town. Here I think we have a shoe shiner. See the chair? So I think that's it. This is your old America. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope I wasn't too bitter. I love you all. God bless. And I'll see you in the next one.